In this video, we're going to be going over the 5 best long-range rifles that are currently inside Warzone at the moment. The long-range meta has changed significantly after the Season 4 update, with some weapon buffs as well as some attachment changes to the Cold War weapons. So in this video, we're going to be going over what are the best long-range weapons. If you enjoy weapon stat breakdowns and weapon comparisons, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel as well. We do post extra content over there. So we did want to get some background testing done on some of the best long-range rifles. So we tested for recoil and we also tested for time to kill. So the first thing that you'll see on screen just now is a recoil chart for some of the contenders for the top 5 best weapons. So we have the DMR, the AMAX, the XM4, the Stoner, the FARA, and the MG82. And the C58 should have also made it onto this list as well, but we didn't have enough space to create a recoil chart for it. But essentially it is a better recoil pattern than the AMAX. So essentially it's just a better AMAX more or less when it comes to recoil. But as you can see on the very left, we do have the DMR, and I wanted to include the DMR on this list because it did get a recoil reduction, and we don't really have a before and after for this gun. But as you can see, the recoil with the titanium barrel is not too bad on the DMR. You just need to make sure you time your shots well. You can see the recoil on the AMAX is what we're used to. It's pretty much vertically upwards with a little bit of side to side bounce in there. The XM4 is now extremely accurate with the builds that we used. It goes upwards and to the right. The Stoner then goes vertically upwards, which is very easy to manage, as we all know. The FARA now goes upwards and to the left, and it doesn't nearly have as much as that left kick as it used to before, so this is going to be very easy to control. Then the MG82 is just insanely accurate. It's pretty much a straight line. It's so easy to control. It's pretty much ridiculous at this point. And this was all done at a 30-meter distance because this is where a lot of your long-range gunfights are going to take place. Like I said, that's not all we tested though. We also tested for time to kill, and we mainly tested TTK after 50 meters because a lot of your long-range gunfights are going to take place between 50 and 100 meters, especially with an assault rifle or LMG. So on screen just now, you will see the TTK for all of the weapons that I showed you recoil for. So we've got the DMR, the AMAX, the XM4, the Stoner, the FARA, and the MG82, as well as the C58. And as you can see, the MG82 and the C58 perform extremely well when it comes to TTK. The new AMAX TTK is around 600 milliseconds, and the DMR has a TTK of 649 milliseconds. But if you do land one single headshot with the DMR, this brings your time to kill all the way down to about 300 to 400 milliseconds, which is absolutely insane because a single headshot does do 112 damage with the DMR, which is very good. Now the XM4, the Stoner, and the FARA are not insane when it comes to time to kill, but below 700 milliseconds is a good time to kill for most weapons. So to explain why some weapons never made it to this list, the XM4 is basically a better M4A1. It has a faster time to kill, it's got better recoil, and it also has better movement as well because it is a Cold War weapon. Then we look at the FARA as well, and the FARA is basically a better Ram 7 at long range. Now sure, the Ram 7 does kill quicker at close range, but we're mainly talking about the best long range weapons, and the FARA again has better recoil, better TTKs. Now having said all that, at number 5 we do have the DMR. Now I think the DMR is a very viable gun in Warzone right now. That recoil reduction definitely made this gun a bit more viable, and we all know the kind of damage the DMR can do inside Warzone, especially when it was meta. It was a very good gun, but right now it is pretty balanced in my opinion. So for the muzzle attachment, you want to use the agency suppressor for the sound suppression, bullet velocity, recoil control, and damage range. For the barrel, you do want to go for the titanium barrel, and this is going to increase your fire rate and then therefore reduce your time to kill. Now you will get a little bit faster of a TTK than the 650 milliseconds I showed you earlier on, but you could also go for the task force barrel as well here. Now this will hurt your recoil, but it will give you better bullet velocity values, so the trade-off is up to yourself, but personally I would go for the titanium barrel here. It does also help with bullet velocity a little bit as well, which doesn't really stay in game. Then for the underbarrel, you have to go for the field agent foregrip to control the recoil, or the rest of the recoil that's on this gun. Ammunition, personally I go for the 40 round mags, but I know a lot of people will prefer a faster ADS and would choose a 30 round, so again this is up to yourself, but I would choose the 40 round mags. You're going to be using this gun at long range, so having a faster ADS isn't really that important. And then lastly, for the optics, the axial arms is my favourite when it comes to Cold War optics. You could get away with the Royal and Cross 4 times as well here, that's also a good option. But like I said, this is a really good, solid build for a long-range DMR. and I do think this is one of the best semi-automatic rifles in the game right now. At number 4, we have a gun that not a lot of people are talking about, especially for long range. We all know how good the XM4 can be at close range, but at long range this gun fries now, especially with those barrel updates. So for the muzzle, you want to use the agency suppressor for, again, the sound suppression, bullet velocity, recoil control, and damage range. For the barrel, you want to use a task force barrel. This will help the best when it comes to bullet velocity and controlling the recoil as much as possible. Then for the underbarrel, you will want to use the field agent grip to control the recoil once again. For ammunition, you need the 60 round Stanag mags to make this gun any sort of viable inside Warzone. This is definitely the best magazine option. Then lastly, I choose the axial free times optic. You can choose whatever optic you prefer, but the axial free times is my favorite. And this gun is a sleeper. Not a lot of people are thinking about using this gun, but I highly recommend trying it out if you've not tried the XM4, especially for long range. At number 3, we have the C58, which is the real AMAX replacement. It has a very similar TTK at long range to the AMAX, but not only does it have the benefit of recoil, it also has a 55 round mag instead of a 45 round mag. So the C58 is a no-brainer if you're looking to switch away from the AMAX to a slightly better weapon. Then for the underbarrel, you want to choose the field agent foregrip to control the recoil once again. Then for the barrel, the task force, like I said, is the best option when it comes to bullet velocity and recoil control. And then the agency suppressor is the other attachment you want to use to keep you concealed as well as giving you the best bullet velocity. And then for the optic, again, choose your preference, but I like the axial free times. I think this is the best option here. And this is the true AMAX replacement, like I keep saying, because this gun absolutely shreds at long range. At number 2, we have a gun that I've personally been enjoying using so much recently, even before the Season 4 update. I think this gun was amazing at long range, but now it's even better with the new barrel changes. So we're talking about the FARA 83, of course. For the muzzle, you want to use the GRU suppressor for the sound suppression, recoil control, bullet velocity, and damage range. For the barrel, you want to use the Spetsnaz RPK barrel. Like I said, this is the best when it comes to controlling your recoil, as well as giving you that bullet velocity. The Liberator barrel is very good as well. It doesn't control the recoil nearly as much as the Spetsnaz barrel, but it does give you the exact same bullet velocity values. So if you want to have a faster ADS, for example, the Liberator barrel might be a really good option. But I personally go for the best recoil control. Then for the underbarrel, again, the best recoil control, so you want to use the Spetsnaz grip. Ammunition, you want to choose the 60 round mags. And then for the optic, like I said, I choose the axial free times. But this gun absolutely fries at long range. If you haven't tried this FARA out yet, make sure you do, because this gun is absolutely amazing inside Warzone. And once some of the other guns get nerfed, this will probably be the meta weapon inside Warzone, especially for long range. The bullet velocity on this gun is insane, and as long as you can point and shoot, this gun is amazing. And of course, at number 1, we have the MG82, and this gun's probably going to get a nerf very soon. But we all know this gun is basically insane right now. Not only has it got ridiculously sized magazines, it kills super quick, and it has no recoil whatsoever. For the muzzle, I choose the agency suppressor. Now you can actually go for the regular suppressor. LMGs like the MG82 already have good bullet velocity anyway. But like I said, I like to have the best bullet velocity and the best recoil control, so I do want to go for the agency. But if you're concerned about ADS times, go for the regular suppressor. Again, if you're concerned about ADS times, go for the match grade barrel instead of the task force. It does very similar things, it just doesn't do it as well as the task force, of course. So personally, again, like I said, I want the best recoil and the best bullet velocity, so I'll go for the task force. Then I want to go for the field agent underbarrel, and this is going to help with the recoil as best as possible. Then for the optic, again, axial arms for me, but if you like something else, you can go ahead and choose that. And for the last option, you have a couple of different options here. You can go for the Serpent Wrap, which we've showed off in other videos, and it is a great option, especially if you're concerned about that ADS time. You could also go for the Tiger Team Spotlight if you want slightly faster movement. This is an LMG, remember. Then you could also go for the Raider stock because it's going to help you with the strafe speed. But my personal favourite at the moment has been the Stanag 150 round mags. And this gun allows you to take out multiple enemies and wipe entire squads, get the finishes, do all that kind of stuff so easily because the recoil was so easy to manage, the TTK is ridiculously fast, and you've got a 150 round mag. This gun is absolutely insane in this game right now. If you're not tried this out, you have to level up the MG82. This gun is just broken. So there we have it. Those are the 5 best long-range rifles currently inside Warzone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers. And also click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel. We do post extra content over there as well. And thank you very much for watching.